Hello, this is Jim Smith from Gann Analysis LLC. Today I'm looking at Facebook, ticker FB. You're looking at a circle here at this high. The reason I circled it is there's a cluster of cycles, 180 calendar day, 225 solar degrees, almost 90 trading days, 365 days is 1 year, high to high. This is the kind of cluster that I look for to call a change in trend. So if you rallied into it, you'd be expecting it to turn down. My clients saw this as it was happening. It's taking a while, but we just recently took out the October 28th low at 308. We rallied back to it, and then, of course, today we got back to it again and we sold off. This is an ominous sign. I tend to view this as something, I call it the Wile Coyote rule. When you take out support and then you rally back to it, what was support before is now resistance. Think of it this way. Normally you took out this support line, you saw how it is important because it tried to get back above this quickly. If it can't get back above it, it's going to go down. So it's not going to go without a struggle. Sometimes you have to wait a few days before the plunge happens. But if we can't get back above 308 in the next few days, the chances are very good that Facebook will go down. And notice I circled this target zone here because we have a cluster of cycles. 149 solar degrees, that's close enough to 150, which is a Gann cycle. 90 calendar days, another Gann cycle. 45 trading days. These are all important Gann cycles, just as this one called a top here. This is calling some sort of turn, and my view is that if you can't get back above this former low at 308, then you're probably going to go down. So it's not just a question of looking at the cycles and saying, oh yeah, it's going to turn down. You have to verify it via price. So how is this stock behaving when it gets to that level or to that point in time? When it takes out the support, you can argue that, hey, something's going on. You had these cycles from this high here. You go 90 days down into low, another 90 days. You could argue that, hey, maybe this is a low, because you can see here it found support exactly on that day and it started to rally back. Difference is it never got back above the former low at 308. It went to it a couple of days in a row and it keeps failing. So with cycles, it's not as simple as you might think, because you could say, hey, this was a low, this has to be a low. No, it's not always that way. This could be a lower high. So if you continue to fail at 308, I would say that's pretty ominous. That suggests it's probably going to sell off. Now, if you want to start the count from this high here, you count 90 days into low, another 90 days into the end of February 28th. Would that be a low? Maybe. And again, it's always an if-then statement. You always have to judge what's happening in price terms before you decide how the cycles are going to play out. And sometimes you just flat out get it wrong, and it happens. So we have this cycle here, a low here. Will this be a low at the end of February? It's possible. But if you get back above 308, I would suggest to you that, hey, maybe something else is going on. So it's always a little nuanced with cycles. It's not to say that cycles don't work. It's just you have to use time and price together. Gann always said it's not a question of just looking at cycles or just looking at price support and resistance. You got to look at both together, and then you get a better idea of what's going on. So the other thing I would point out to you, if you find this sort of analysis interesting, send me an email jamessmith@gannanalysis.net, and ask me for the report on FANG stocks. Put FANG stocks in the subject line, and I will send you a report. There's a lot of interesting things going on with the FANG stocks, not just Facebook, but Apple, Amazon, Netflix, etc. So if you're interested in that, send me an email. I'll send it to you. And if you're really interested after you read that, think about a 1-month trial subscription or a 3-month trial subscription to try it out. And I just want to show you at a critical moment here, how the Gann stuff really works. If nothing else, you'll learn something. You don't have to pay for this free report. It's free, so just go ahead and send me that email to jamessmith@gannanalysis.net. And good luck in your trading.